Hi, I'm Eli Prinsen from hybridvocaltechnique.com. In today's video, by request, I'm doing a video on the E vowel, okay? Now, arguably, a lot of people in my own experience and actually in my own singing and training experience as well, the E vowel was kind of not my favorite vowel, okay? And I've seen that all over the world. There's typically a couple of vowels people can't stand once they start singing higher and higher. And typically, I'd say the majority is the E and the U, okay? The E and the U vowel. So today, we're going to talk about E, okay? So when we're down in our more comfortable range, E, it's not really a problem. Not yet, usually, right? Now, once we start going up higher, E, for some people, all right, some of you basses and even some low baritones right here around middle C can even start to be tough, all right? Those of you with higher voices may not be able to relate, okay? But as we come up higher, me, myself, all right, even though I speak pitched up just a little bit, hey, what's going on? To preserve my own voice and for my own vocal health, I actually talk a lot lower. When my voice is tired and lazy, it's more set down in here, okay? But even me, I'm naturally a baritone, all right, baritone range. And right here at a C sharp, right there in the middle of the keyboard, B, I have already started to modify that vowel, okay? So let's talk about that. Vowel modification for the E. All right, so at this point, I'm still in chest voice, okay? And C sharp right there, okay? There are different ways to modify. Really, I've seen a lot of different vowel modification in my own studies coming up. I had teachers telling me kind of conflicting things or just little variations of modifications for vowels, especially the E, okay? The E and the U, go figure, the two toughest ones universally, and would have some strange conflicting alternative vowel modifications for these vowels in different situations. So if you want, okay, I'm not gonna say one is right or one is wrong because I respect all my teachers too much for this. But if you want the sound of your E to remain pure, okay, an E, like the word cheese, freeze, sleaze, just a plain E sound, and you don't want it to splat, even if it's intentional, right? And we're going to talk about that in a minute. The shape of the vowels, the way you shape your mouth to create the vowels, whether it's E, A, I, O, U, right? It's all with the shape. Now, certain things are going on in the front or in the back as far as placement or if your tongue's in the way, where they resonate and so on and so forth. But we're just talking about the E vowel and modifying it. So in the front here, you can do this if you go overboard with the E and make it too much of a smile, you can do that. Me. But if you get too crazy with it, you might include the jaw. Be careful of that. Okay, so when I'm coming up higher, I'm not doing this, okay? Me. I'm not going to modify it to an A because I want it to sound like an E, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. I was taught two different ways to modify the E. One was to keep it pure, okay? And then the other one was a slight separation of the teeth, elongating it a bit, and thinking of like the letter 8, almost. E. But as that goes higher, you still get the clamp in there. So what do you end up doing? You end up singing an A instead of an E. E. It's no longer an E, okay? So it is possible to sing an E much higher, modifying it, and it still sound like an E, okay? Those of you that listen to old folks like me that listen to classic rock and metal, think about Queensryche, Jeff Tate, Bruce Dickinson, especially Bruce Dickinson, right? A very dramatic E, an E, all right? It's not like Tears of the Dragon, right? Think about that, something by Bruce Dickinson, where he says, the tears of the dragon, all right? So he didn't say, the tears of the dragon, and sing everything on an A. Some singers will do that. That's a whole nother video, okay? But think about it. Where's that note at when he says tears? I'm not even sure where I was saying that. The tear! Okay, so I did it on a high C, okay? If I would have splatted that, if I would have modified that the way one of my coaches wanted me to do, I would have sounded more almost like Def Leppard. Pour some sugar on May. It's gonna be May, right? Instead of E. Now, on the other side of the coin, and I've talked about this in other videos, if you covered Def Leppard and you covered Pour Some Sugar on Me and you sang that E literal, everybody would look at you like you were crazy, because for decades we have come to know that as being splatted. Instead of pour some sugar on me, it sounds like he's saying pour some sugar on May, right? So that would be a modification or an intentional splat, all right? A lot to talk about today. So what I'm going to do to make the E, or what I did when I sang Tears of the Dragon up here at C, okay? So intentionally I sang something a little bit higher, belted up a little bit higher to show you that you don't have to splat the E to an A. You can actually sing an E with a lot of power up high as long as you maintain the shape of that E, all right? And behind what we shape for the vowel, it's more about placement and thinking another vowel sound. So what I did is I went from a literal E to I, like hit, fit, sit, I-H, I. But I didn't say, the tears of, and sing I literally. I shaped E, but I shaped it a little bit higher than I did wide, right? I didn't want to say, the tear. That's what makes singing E's higher hard. Don't do it with your jaw. Place it up higher, okay? So with all the vowel modifications in hybrid vocal technique, that's what I teach. If you're interested in studying hybrid vocal technique, there's plenty of links in the description box below. Hook yourself up and learn how to sing, okay? Now, with all your vowel mods, if you shape the vowel you intend the audience to hear, that's what's going to come out, okay? If you're changing what you do with your mouth, you're going to change the color of that sound. And that's what, pour some sugar on me, me. That's not an E anymore. Why? I went eh. I started singing a wide splatted A sound, all right? And of course, in that situation, you would want to just sing an A. You would want to sing an A, a good A, and not too much jaw. Pour some sugar on me, right? Instead, May, you're going to splat and sound unprofessional, okay? So the E, as it comes up, you start modifying and morphing that sound into I, but you don't change the shape of the E. And you could take this all the way through your chest voice, through your middle voice, and up into your head voice, all right? Keep the shape the same, right? I'm going to say the word me, but I'm not going to include too much jaw. I'm going to think height. Me, see? Like this. Me. No matter how high or how low you take it, if you keep that shape the same, that vowel will sound the same, all right? So E, literal E, E goes to modify to I-H, but keep the same shape of the E, okay? All right, now, that does it for this video, all right? There's a million other things that happen with all the other vowels and combinations of vowel sounds, modifications, split modifications, there's a million different things for placement and for application, okay? But just wanted to cover that for the eval since someone in the comments requested that I do so. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day. Take care.